how it's supposed to feel.
Today we have Norton versus ESET. Welcome back, guys, to another anti-malware test. So we're going to have a quick look at Norton. I'm just going to quickly go through the settings. Okay, so we've got the antivirus setting. Now for this test, I'm going to test everything on aggressive or maximum. It might increase false negatives, but that's fine. We'll see how the test goes. Now we've got aggressive. We obviously have auto protect, everything's enabled, automatic, and so on. Show behavioral protection. Scans and risk, pretty much set here as well. Data protector, script control for Microsoft Office documents. You can say it's blocked, and then updates. Okay, we're going to go back. We're going to look at the firewall. So firewall is set to default. I haven't changed anything on the firewall side. Program control, traffic rules, intrusion, and browser protection, and so on. Then we've got anti-spam, so we'll test that today as well. Integration with Outlook. Exploit prevention, and that's about that. We're gonna just close this. Gonna go under advanced, and then as you guys can see, everything is enabled. Now with ESET, there's a little bit more settings on ESET, so it does take a little bit longer to go through it, so I'll do it as quick as I can. You're always more than welcome to slow it down or pause to have a better look at the settings. Now we've got AMSI integration. Network traffic scanner is enabled. Cloud-based protection is enabled. We're going to use live grid feedback system. Submitting all the samples. Live guard is enabled. Kill running process. Block for about 10 minutes. Malware scans. So when we do a scan, we can obviously use the in-depth scan. Scan targets will be everything, and then detection will be aggressive. Threat sense, I disabled smart optimization, so it scans a bit longer, but then it scans all the files again and does not leave like a timestamp. Now idle scan, we've disabled that because I don't want that to remove any threats during the test. Threat sense, always remedy the detection, and startup scan. We'll leave that enabled, so after we reboot we'll see if ESET does remove any more threats with the idle scan. Now document protection is enabled, always remedy the detection. Now HIPS, on HIPS I'm going to do it with smart mode this time. The last time I think I did it in automatic mode, so smart mode will do it automatic to a certain degree, but if it needs my input, it will give me a little pop-up, and then I'll obviously deny those. I just want to see what the result will be with smart. Deep behavior inspection, ransomware shield is either on or off, and then under advanced. So with protection, we're gonna go for aggressive like we did with Norton. Real-time shield is pretty enabled. Threat sense, always remedy, additional threat sense, everything's basically enabled. Under network protection, we do have Net Inspector enabled, firewall as well, left on automatic. Now under IDS, I did make an additional rule for any detection. And that's about that. Then we've got browser protection, pretty much enabled. Script scanner is enabled, and that's that. So if you wonder why I am adding a additional rule for ESET and not for Norton, is I think ESET needs an additional rule, because I think if it's enabled but there might not be additional rules, it might not be as effective, where I think Norton should actually give us protection if it's on or off. So let me know in the comments. And I think that's that. So with ESET, this is obviously the latest version, so we do have folder guard, which they recently rolled out for smart security. So this is version 18. So I added documents, desktop, and pictures. So this should protect the files from any ransomware tampering. So if there is ransomware on the machine and ESET failed to detect it, it should then at least stop it from tampering with those 3 folders. But yeah, so let's see how folder protection goes. But yeah, new version, I'm going to quickly disable the protection so that we can start the test, and then we'll see the results. Okay guys, the samples are extracted. Now we have a variety of nasties. Now it seems like we only have 2 PDF files today, but we do obviously have a lot of applications which will range from either false positive, nasty file coders, any umbrella type of malware that you can kind of think of will be in here. But yeah, we've got a bunch of applications. Then we've got a couple of Javas, some fileless malware, and then a couple of zippies, shortcuts, and office documents and things like that. So we are testing 1,415 samples on each side. Now let's have a quick look. You guys will see no cheating. The VMs, obviously according to the virus total scores, they are clean, but I can ensure you that they are clean. They're also fully up to date with Windows updates. I'm not sure why this WinStore is rating as a 1 out of 76, but I think we can ignore that. So we've got our trusted programs open. We are going to quickly check for updates. I think ESET did do a update while I was extracting the malware. Now we'll be using Proton VPN, so it's just another additional layer to protect the testing environment. It can obviously be bypassed, but it's just an additional layer that I do add to make the testing environment just a little bit more safer. Now ESET seems to be up to date. Norton is doing its update. Okay, seems like Norton is done. Let's just double check it, because I know with Norton sometimes you have to continue to check for updates until it's fully up to date. It does not download all the updates in one go. I'm not sure why Norton does that, but I've picked it up over my time testing Norton. Okay, so I think Norton is good to go. Now we are going to enable the protection quickly. Okay, and as you guys can see, this is Norton 360 for gamers. Now we're gonna enable ESET's firewall as well. And then we're gonna give them a couple of seconds to make sure that the drivers are running. Okay, cool. So as you guys can see, for the protection, everything is enabled. ESET is green, it's happy, it's good to go. Same with Norton. We're just gonna close that. Okay, so I think we are ready to go. So for the first test, I haven't done this test in a while. We're going to do an email test. I'm just going to send one email with a phishing link. It's a random link, so it could be a false positive or not. So I'm going to send the email. So okay, apologies guys, I had to quickly pause the video there. I had some issues with Gmail blocking the mails that I wanted to send for this test. So I finally found a link that seems to go through. So I'm gonna send a link now. It's just a quick fake mail that I just quickly drafted up, so hopefully it sends now. Okay, so this is just to test the anti-malware protection or the complete suite of the security product, because obviously we do test malware and links, whatever, but the highest attack vector always stays on email. So I think it's quite vital to test protection on email as well. So hopefully the mail comes through. Yay, it came through finally after the X amount of attempts. But yeah, that's good to Google. It did block all those threads as it were, but it did interfere with the test. So finally we got the link. So it seems like ESET is not detecting this email. Neither is Norton. As you guys can see, they do have their little plugins, but nonetheless we are going to test them quickly. So I'm going to be one of those users where I just click on links and I just trust everything, and it came from a trusted sender and not verified. So let's click on them. Let's see what happens. Okay, so ESET is blocking it. Says potential phishing attempt. Doesn't seem like it's loading with Norton. can't really determine if it's actually Norton blocking it or not. Let's maybe quickly disable the VPN for Norton. Let's see if that helps. Nope, it does not help. Okay, so I'm not sure why it's not loading on the Norton, but luckily if you do have ESET, you are protected. It was a phishing attempt, so good job, ESET. Okay, so we're only going to do the one test. Let's change the server. I want to keep it equal, so we are connected to the US. Let's change the server again. Okay, so it's connecting to the United States. I just want to keep it fair so that they're both connected to the same regions and maybe not another region is slower than the other one. Now, while we wait for Norton, after I decided to disconnect that VPN, is we're going to do the website test. So I'm going to start launching the script for this one. I'm going to close that. I'm going to close that. Now I'm going to run this. Okay, so we are using Edge as our default browser. Yeah, as you guys can see, we have a couple of E's for ESET being blocked. We'll see now with Norton. Okay, so Norton is detecting a large amount. We're not going to run NPE. We know what's happening. Okay, so website attack block, Trojan backdoor. Okay, I think Norton is still loading here. Okay, but I think it's done. So let's quickly see what's happening. This one is looking for captcha. Let's see if we do complete the captcha if something happens. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to complete the captcha. It's going to take too long. So there's a couple of sites opening here, but they could be false positive. It's not to say that these sites are actually malicious, but they could be. But we've got a confirmed one from Norton here. Another one blocked, also blocked. Cool. This one is legit, it seems. And then this one is actually loading. Then we've got some metadata from Facebook. Seems like that's loading. This definitely looks suspicious. Let's see if we click on it, what happens. Download cancelled. Currently not running, so it seems like it might have been taken down. That's blocked. And that didn't download. Blocked. Captcha could most probably be duplicates, I think. Okay, cool. So that's that. Let's have a look at ESET. Same ones that also open up for ESET, so it could be that they actually not dangerous or just not being detected as of yet. So we've got a couple of ESETs. This same one is also opening on ESET as well. Seems like this one is not continuing. Seems like we can't continue, can't click on it really. So I don't think it's doing anything. Let's click on Outlook. Let's see what happens. Okay, also link is down, blocked by ESET. Also blocked by ESET. And not blocked by ESET. So I think it's very similar. I think it might actually be a tie with ESET and Norton. So you guys can let me know. I think it's maybe a tie. Now obviously you saw ESET was removing some threads already. Okay, so Norton is already processing some threads. Let's have a look, see. Nothing in memory as of yet or any processors running. Okay, let's open up this setup. Okay, there's a cryptic, so that's file coder or ransomware. There's a form book. What I do like about ESET is they tend to give you quite a lot of information on the pop-up, what type of thread it is, what type of process, try to call it, and where it wanted to try and get access to. So it does give you quite a lot of information of these pop-ups and the name of the thread. So that's what I do like about ESET. Okay. Okay, doesn't seem like we have anything running as of yet. Let's run this one. Okay, as you guys can see, we do have quite a lot of pop-ups from ESET, but not so much from Norton. At this stage, it doesn't seem like we've got any suspicious processes running as of yet. So I'll keep you guys up to date. I want to keep the recordings as short as possible, so I don't want to add too much unnecessary information. And this is actually what I was talking about earlier, where heaps being on smart mode. And then you can decide what you want to do. So I'm gonna hit deny. I'm gonna deny that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna create a rule to keep on denying it. Okay, so it seems like ESET's a little bit behind Norton, but not by too much. So we've got one thread running for ESET. We've got another thread for Norton. So yeah, so I think it's going to be interesting, guys. I'll let you know once the test is done. If there's any weird reboots or blue screens or anything like that, I'll point it out. But hopefully the test runs smoothly, and then we can check the results once the test is done. Okay, guys, so let's have a look at the results. So just to quickly point out, so one, you guys will notice that the internet connection is disabled for them both. The reason for this is, as I was finalizing the test with ESET, I did notice that there was some activity on the the Norton machine, where I would say a threat actor was connected to the machine, as I could see that they're starting to minimize and trying to navigate their way on the VM. And you will also notice all the Screen Connect services are running. There's also an Atera agent, and then also a Kaseya VSA agent was also installed. So someone was definitely remoted in on the machine. So that is quite scary if you are a normal user, but because we are testing, I kind of do expect this type of behavior. But yeah, someone was connected. I did not see the same activity on ESET. It's not to say that ESET did stop this, but because you'll also notice on the ESET we do have the Atera service and also the Kaseya, but we do not have the Screen Connect. So I'm not sure which RMM or remote tool that they were actually used to connect to the machine, but there was definitely someone on the Norton machine. So I just quickly disconnected it just so that they can't interrupt the test any further. So now on the Norton machine, you'll see that we do have this one service that's running here with a pretty high score. 40 out of 76 vendors are flagging this as malware. Then we obviously got the Atera. Now Atera, Action One, and all these guys, AnyDesk, they are being flagged by AVs as either malicious or as PUPs, because threat actors do abuse RMM providers to gain persistent access to machines. It's one way of them getting access to a machine, and then silently send commands in the back end, also remote to a machine. So RMMs are unfortunately being abused quite a lot. But otherwise we've got Screen Connect, and then we've got the Atera agent, and then this one. On the ESET, it seems like we have the Atera agent, and then these Tobias software processes are running very low scores. So it could be that they actually just PUPs, or maybe something new, but I just think that they might just be PUPs. So the only real issue here, I would say, is Atera and maybe the Kaseya, as they might be also used to gain access to this machine. But yeah, that's about it. So you guys can see what is running. We're going to look at the Norton to see if we have any additional startup items. We can do the same with ESET. Now on the Norton, they arrange alphabetically, not that much. It seems like only the Kaseya agent is a startup item. With ESET, seems like we have quite a bit more startup items here. So we have all these startup items here. What I'm going to do as additionally, it might add some additional recording time to the video, but I think if there are some of you guys that might wonder if these startup items are actually malicious or not, because sometimes we have startup items, they might look suspicious to the eye, but they might actually be benign or not something to really to worry about. And yeah, sorry, I completely forgot I disconnected the internet. Yeah, so that's fine. I'll check these after the startup. I was a complete idiot now. So we do have obviously these couple of startup items here, so it does look like ESET has I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 startup items. Norton just seems like it only has 1, so with the Kaseya, ESET has 6 startup items versus Norton's 1, so it looks like Norton did a little bit better there, but we'll see obviously after the reboot and things like that. Let's see if we do have any ransomware issues. So these are files that downloaded during the test. We're going to look at documents. Document seems good. Our document seems good there. Our pictures are intact, and if you're wondering why there's this little green ticks for the Norton, is because of the Norton backup. So that's part of their method also to combat ransomware. But yeah, okay, cool. So I think that's that. I'm gonna restart them. Oh, sorry, we didn't even look at the programs that are actually installed. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Now we've got this thin client. Then obviously we've got the Terra agent that we saw. We got obviously Crab Cleaner. We got the Kaseya agent. Visual C++ also installed. There's Nebulard, Panorama Studio, Party Chaos, Radwin Server. There's obviously our Screen Connect, VidaVision, WeChat, and your application. On ESET, we've got this ABC. We've got Alert Windows version, Atera, the Kaseya, online backup for VM, also this one. So it looked like there might be a tad more POPs on the ESET versus the Norton machine. So I'm going to restart them. I'm going to connect them back to the internet or back onto the internet. Going to update them, and then I'm going to do the full scans, and then we'll look at the results. Okay, so the full scans are done. Now on the Norton machine, it still seems like we've got 238 items in our malware test folder. Obviously there are some additional folders that were created, and then obviously my script is within there, but as you can see the majority still has sizes on them. Now on the ESET side it says we've got 357, but you'll see that a lot of them are 0 KB, so I think it's actually much less than on the Norton side. So it looks like ESET did remove a lot more malware. Now on Norton, I can't remove this file. I did rescan it, it failed, so we have to manually delete it. This one wants to quarantine, so I'll quickly quarantine that, but there seems to be one thread that Norton cannot deal with, so we'll just ignore that thread for now. On the ESET side, it removed the Atera agent as machine learning. For safety's sake, I did manually uninstall ESET, Screen Connect, Splashtop, and the Kaseya VSA agent, just to make sure that no one is able to reconnect to the machines while I'm working on them. So that I did manually uninstall, but it seems like ESET did remove this from memory as well. So then obviously a couple of files here. So ESET did remove about 361 items. So we're going to close that. Let's quickly see what's still in our program files. We still got this thin client, Crab Cleaner, there's programs here. So we've got a couple, not that many. I think you can just manually uninstall them. On the ESET side, seems like we still got those two programs, this Alert Windows, couple of programs here, but they just look like POPs. On the Norton side with so we still have Screen Connect, but I think they might disappear after the reboot, because I did uninstall it, but I didn't restart the machine after I uninstalled it. but it has this one program here that's 5 out of 77, and on ESET it doesn't seem like we've got any issues. Startup items, still looks like we've got this startup item here, and then that's what I wanted to check on the VirusTotal, because I've got internet access now. So let's quickly check if this Java startup file is rated by any other vendors. I think this will be removed upon restart because it's also got 0 KB, so I think ESET did delete it. Let's try this one. Yep, that one's that's actually a shortcut. And that's also a shortcut. Okay, so I don't think they're really anything to worry about. You can just manually delete them, but yeah, okay. So we're going to close it. So now we're done with the full AV scans. I'm going to restart the machine, update the third-party opinion scans, and then we can wrap up the test. Alrighty, the scans are finally done. Now we're going to start with Heatman Pro. On Heatman Pro, it seems like we've got 2 suspicious files for plutonium games, and then we've got 1 malware in a temporary file, but that's not really something to worry about if it's not really being used by anything else. Just lying there in the temp, it can just be deleted. On ESET, doesn't seem like we have any malware, just suspicious. So most probably all these PUPs that are installed. It's also got the plutonium games, but it's got this additional, that Dawn that we saw as a startup item, and this ABC proxy thing. We're going to look at M-Site Soft. So here we've got 7 issues versus 1 issue for ESET on the Norton machine. So these are files from the zips. I don't think there are also something to worry about, but we do have about 7 issues still left over. On the ESET, also temp file that was left over. On the Kaspersky side, we found no issues with Kaspersky. And then on Malwarebytes, we've got 6 versus 7. So let's quickly have a look at Norton. Net support. So there's a scheduled task and a couple of registry keys. On ESET, we have app data local, temporary files, also that same scheduled task that Norton has, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 registry keys, 1, 2, 3, 4 registry keys. So very similar. But they all seem to be related because they all got the same signature name, Trojan agent TSK. So it seems like they're all pretty much related. I'm going to close that. Okay. This is still what we have left on the Norton machine for programs that are installed. And this is what we still have for ESET. And then startup items for Norton. Doesn't seem like we have any real issues here for Norton. On ESET, I did check these startup items. They are either corrupted or broken. So I don't actually think any of these startup items is actually an issue to worry about for ESET as well. And I think that's that. Okay guys, so this was a really close test. On the website test, I would say it's a draw, and I'll kind of say on the malware side, it's also kind of a draw. I can't exactly say which one definitely won hands down on the test. I think it's very close. They both pretty much did the same in the malware test. Norton has a little bit less startup items that you can see. ESET does show a little bit more startup items, but the startup items are actually just broken. They actually not starting something. ESET did remove more malware after the scan in the malware folder. Norton left a little bit more malware on the desktop, and it also had issues removing that one thread from the malware folder, but I just deleted them. And I would say that's about that. So they're very, very close. I'll calculate just briefly in the chart at the end of the video more or less which one I think they won, but verbally now I think it's very, very close between these two. So good results from them. We have a couple of small IOCs on the machine, but not really major. I think you can just clean these machines up, but yeah, obviously if you are paranoid you can just wipe them, but I think they didn't do that bad. Also on the ESET side, I did see a lot of pop-ups for the new folder guard, where it was asking for permissions for files to make changes to these folders. So that's definitely a nice new feature from ESET, is this folder guard. But yeah, I'll definitely test them again in the future, but I think they both did fairly good, and they are fairly even in this test. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the test, what your thoughts of which one was actually better and which one you think actually won this test. But yeah, all the new guys, please like and subscribe to content. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I enjoy making them. They do take quite some time to make, as you have to collect the malware samples, you have to prep the VMs, but I do like to keep my videos kind of raw, in the sense of as things happen to the VMs, right, reboot, they crash, they freeze, or they just run the test flawlessly. That's how I kind of see it. So none of these videos are actually scripted. I do prepare, obviously, collect the samples, open up Process Explorer and set them up, but as the test goes, that's how I see it. So nothing is scripted on these videos, and they are obviously done fair, without any intervention from my side to assist an AV. There's no point in cheating in that sense. We need to see how good these products actually do fare. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making them, and I'll catch you guys in the next test. And yeah, thanks again guys for watching.